welcome back to yet another episode of Two Pot Conversations. I'm Tato.
Lweni Tinkanya.
I'm Nobile.
Hi, I'm Zanile Zamati.
Hi, I'm Lucy.
And I'm Yanda.
As you guys can see by the title of today's video, we're going to be talking about dealing with peer pressure as a student. So we all know that people succumb to peer pressure for different reasons. Some people because they want to be socially accepted, and some because they want to avoid bullying. So have you guys ever experienced a time in your lives where you felt like you needed to fit into a certain group of people?
For me, actually, because it's something I recall very well. I had a friend first year. I think you'll all know her. I'm not gonna mention names, but I mean, she almost made me, dive deep into peer pressure. I mean, she'd be like, "Oh, friend, you should do this. Actually, you should buy this. It'll suit you." Part of me felt like, okay, fine, it'll actually look good on me, and I should. But then also, I was like, no, this person lives a very different lifestyle from that I live. So let me just stick to what I can afford in my pockets and not put strain on my pocket because of someone else. Yeah.
Okay, with what you just said, I get as a group of girls, they normally would go to a store and someone would want something. And then someone's not sure whether will this look good on me and stuff like that. And then we motivate
and hype people up.
And hype people.
Yeah.
Now, would you say that that's peer pressure or that's something completely different?
Well, I'd like to say it's different.
Okay.
Because I mean, it's something that you saw first and you want it, but then you're not sure. So
I feel like with us, it's just helping you because you're indecisive.
Yeah, make a decision.
Yeah.
So would you guys say part of the reasons people succumb to peer pressure are bad parenting?
No, please don't blame it on the parents.
It's not bad parenting. I think for me, I would say the people you associate yourself with, because obviously when you get to a place and you don't know anyone, whomever is there first, that's who you are most likely to communicate with. And then should you find a vibe or have a vibe with that person, and then you find that at a later stage, this person is really not for me because now I'm doing things that I wouldn't normally do. If maybe try and put yourself in the person's shoes, the person who's making you do things. As if I'm making another person do something that you wouldn't be fine with.
So I feel like for me the situation is a bit different now because I found myself in a situation where I felt like I need to fit in, because it was either you are that one loner or another. But then also I don't mind being alone. I don't mind being that one person. I don't care at them. So for me, I found myself in a situation, but then I was able not to succumb to peer pressure. I was able to take myself out of that situation because really it really wasn't.
When was this? Was it high school or?
No, it wasn't high school. It was tertiary. It wasn't high school. High school.
So, do you guys feel like peer pressure in high school is any different from peer pressure here in tertiary?
Yeah.
Different. I'd say it's different.
I'd say it's different also because remember in high school you need from 8 till that time, right? And in high school, remember, it's the uniform. So in high school, there's feeding scheme,
and you are monitored by your parents.
Yeah, we all end up eating here. Massively lunch. There's no way to a feeding scheme because it also starts small. Like other people have money for food and I don't. Now, do I ask how they do it? Maybe there's a lifestyle and there's someone behind that financing. So I feel like it's really different.
And I can say the peer pressure is different and the way you deal with it is different. In high school, we're more likely, even the smallest things, you're more likely to succumb to them. But in tertiary, it's different because I feel like you have grown, you've found, or you're still finding yourself, but you know you are, well, I don't want to say smart enough, but you are, I think, wise enough
You can
to
do
know
the
and put
better.
yourself in a place that you want to be in, that you're not forced to be in.
What's
Yeah.
that one situation or scenario? If Ukona was in that situation, like what happened and how did you deal with it?
Okay, I'm one of those people. Okay, I find myself in a situation where I have to deal with peer pressure by then. On my first year here, like, okay, you can see how people, okay, we are coming from different backgrounds and all those things. So, people I made friends with, they were those people from high class level of work. So I find myself in a difficult situation where I have to deal with them, especially when it comes to lunchtime, when it comes to outfit.
Yes.
So what I told myself is that I can't like it. Because I have to check on my background, look at my background, like when it comes to clothing, money for the lunchbox and all those things. So I have to limit myself. I tried to do so by all means, and I managed to get out of those situations. Yeah, I was like with them in the class, leaving charts and all those things. But when it comes to lunchtime, when it comes to shopping and all those stuff, I was like,
I think that's better because also really like remembering where you come from is actually important. I think that's one thing I was with Cooper. As much as sometimes it's hard because sometimes even on social media or even here, like sometimes I'm also one of the victims where I used to like compare myself a lot to someone, especially if we age group, if like, she's done this, she's
Or if
done
someone
that.
is younger and you're like,
Actually, I'm older than her, but then isn't as fun. So I feel like knowing where you come from and knowing why you're here will actually help you get yourself out from that
I think
situation.
also understanding the financial situation at home, being considerate to your parents, and now I understand it's okay, well, ABCD is being done for me, and then should you maybe want to actually get those things for yourself, find out other means without having to go to your parents.
And then what are those means? Because you can come to young and then it works for her. Like
so it might work for me.
So you think maybe it might work
And then you
for
succumb to that.
pressure.
So don't you guys feel like we can say there is positive peer pressure?
There is definitely.
You know, there is.
There is.
Because again, peer pressure is peer pressure. So there is.
You guys might pressurize me to be the best that I can be. It doesn't necessarily have to be negative, that I have to do things that I wouldn't normally do, that are negative, but you guys can motivate me to, this is not your best, you know, things like that motivate me to do better. And
But then how do you distinguish from that bad thing? Because remember, there's a video where we said if you question yourself a lot, then that's not right. And now we're trying to make you a better person, but then you will obviously question yourself because until I'm against how do I know? So how do you know this is a positive one and this is a negative one?
I think the positive one can go along with schoolwork.
Only schoolwork?
No, like mostly schoolwork.
but things that are going to benefit you
In the
and
future.
in the future, and things that are for your growth, not just you at a standstill that okay, I'm doing this but there's no growth, but things that when you guys, I'm around people who motivate me to be better and be a better person and achieve better things. I think we can say that's positive.
But if you say it's things that benefit you, say now for example, my friend is telling me, no friend, because when I can see that financially you are lacking, how about I introduce you to this certain lifestyle, like bless and bless you. This is something that is gonna benefit you. So then if you're gonna say it's something that is gonna benefit you, even that one is gonna benefit
But
that
then
person.
In the future,
I think also with that one, your morals.
but also I feel like I wouldn't say when I say something that benefits you, it doesn't necessarily have to be with money. It doesn't have to be with money or what you have, but I feel like you as a person, who you are, improving who you are, even sometimes improving your intellect, sometimes improving just your personality. I feel like it doesn't always have to be now you're pushing me that I need to make money. It can be just emotional improvement sometimes.
I think sometimes, as much as like we have to try and avoid the peer pressure, but then I feel like sometimes you have to learn the hard way. Because as Andy mentioned, if I really know a situation yasekhaya and I feel like this place of life might work out for me, then I'll have to do it. I'll have to go and then see if it's on net, and then if I need, then I'll have to find my way out. So I feel like sometimes as much as we should try and avoid it, but then at the end of the day, if you have to do it, then you do it and then learn from that thing.
Back to Kaya's point about the morals, yes, I do think morals would play a part in you saving yourself from the later effects of having imam blessings. But at the same time, I feel like most people, when they do all that, they don't consider morals because of desperation.
Yeah, and
what
morals going to put food on my table.
And another thing, if you're saying morals, since we said it has nothing to do with parenting, are we saying the morals that you instilled in yourself, not the morals that you have brought up with?
I think it's morals.
I feel like there's a very thin line because some of the morals that we still carry till now are the morals that our parents instilled in us.
I think the morals that we're talking about, it can be like the morals that our parents instilled in us. But the reason why we said no is because we are not saying the parents are the reasons why we do these things. Yes, I do have a morals and what do I want to do? Do I want to leave them aside, or do I want to consider
another choice?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the things that you chose for yourself, that you instilled in yourself, that yes, my mom and dad or grandmother or my guardian taught me this, but I choose this for myself.
So do you guys think peer pressure, this topic that we're having, it could maybe lead you to a mental distress or breakdown, or along those lines?
I think it's possible, because I think it would come in when let's say you have succumbed to this peer pressure and now you are trying to find all these means to keep up with this lifestyle that you've been pushed into. So what happens if it stops? Isn't that when that mental distress or mental breakdown starts? It's okay, how am I going to make ends meet now? My source of income is gone. How am I going to continue with this lifestyle?
I think even the anxiety of doing something that you've never done, I think it might come because you're doing something as a result of peer pressure. You're doing something that you know I wouldn't normally do something like this. I think as a person it would also challenge you
and you're around places that you've never been there before, and people that
and the environment is not something that you're used to.
And I think also the fact that maybe not even just thinking about it, maybe if your friend recruits you to be part of a certain lifestyle and just having that thing, having to think about it, having to consider it, it's gonna help me at a certain point, but then also you have to compromise yourself.
I think
you're selling your soul at some point.
I think what you're saying is also you have to weigh in on the pros and cons and what you're benefiting compared to what you're losing.
And sometimes if what you are getting from it is more than what you're losing, you might have to go in there and just not think about the consequences then, but then only find out later when you're in it. It's okay, if it happens, I leave this this is what is going to happen later on. I'm going to struggle. I'm not going to be able to maintain this lifestyle that I now enjoy, that I've been pressured into and stuff like that.
It's like the thing of the thinking, yeah, the blessers, man. Even the situation that I was in, it forced you to distress a lot. Because when I was alone at home, I'll ask myself like, ew, like they will accept me again. Like, what if I will chill with them or hang out with them? They will be able to do so now. So you have to ask yourself a lot of questions based on that, and like you feel like left out.
And no one wants to feel left out.
Yeah, and no one wants to in real life. No one. So you usually like stress
How
yourself.
did you get yourself out from that situation?
So I will act as if like I'm okay when I get to class. Like everything's everything is okay. I'm like, you know, that life, you worry like I'm fitting in at some point, even though I know very
So
well.
would you say the pretense got to where it disturbed your mental or emotions?
Yeah, it disturbed my emotion a lot because I have to act as if like I'm okay, I'm healthy, even if I know I'm not able. Even when they have topics like, where are we going out after this? Are you going? Are you what? Like,
So were your friends, if you don't understand that, at some point did they try to maybe pressure you into doing things that you were not comfortable with, or was it you
Just so
like
you feeling like
confident in?
no, at some point they did try to convince me to do things that I don't like at all, and knowing very well, "Ori, this I can't afford this. Like I'm still a student, my background at home, financial background is not okay, so I can't keep on forcing things. Like as I mentioned, like in the early stage when I don't have parents, feel like I'll be putting pressure on people like I want this, oh, because I don't have parents, you're doing this to me. So yeah.
And you've made it up alive and you're doing just fine right now, right?
Yeah.
So what would you say to someone out there who's doing the first year and the Vastola with the same situation? They don't know if they should leave the situation or they shouldn't. So what would you say to them?
Personally, from me, I would say leave that pull up, leave that thing, cause no, it's not healthy at all. You ended up like being in a situation where you can't even pull through from it. Like it will disturb you.
Because you can only keep.
distract you. Everything that is negative will cause you anything that is.
Because you can only keep up for so long.
Yeah, you can't, because you ended up like pretending, losing up yourself, and doing all those things.
And sometimes you find yourself lying or pretending so much that you even believe.
You
You
lie.
pretend
Because
yourself.
you have to lie at some point.
You
like,
even convince yourself.
Yeah,
Yes, this is it,
right.
but you know it's not it.
It goes back to the point that I made. You would see sometimes when you are desperate to fit in, you don't really think about your morals. You just wear them up.
You just do it.
Yeah.
you try to fit in people's life. Try to live on.
So guys, this brings us to the end of our episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you have any views, please don't forget to leave them in the comment section. Please subscribe and click on the notification bell to be part of the family. Thank you for watching.
Bye.